I think Women's Day is not a day. It's about living every moment with agency, living your dreams, making informed choices. We don't say hero oriented film. Why do we say heroine oriented film? So those things I hope slowly go, and they'll only go when it becomes more democratic in many ways, you know.
Yeah,
And when it becomes, there's a kind of things become more equal, and I think it kind of opens up. But I think it's happening. I want a day when we don't define these roles by gender. You know, why do we say female director? The profession is director. That person is a
yeah,
director. Now they happen to be a man or a woman, and so their lens in terms of how they tell the story. But again, I think that lens is also not gender defined. I like there have been so many people, so many
yeah,
actors who I have seen dealing with a lot of rubbish,
yeah.
and I think a lot of them have done it with a lot of dignity, you know.
Sure.
And I'm sure they have gone through a similar thing that I'm saying, you know. And I know that some, like I have been lucky. I really haven't dealt with this kind of negativity too much, and I hope I never have to. But the people who have, I sometimes I really doff my hat to how they deal with it, and I think they deal with it very well.
Hello everyone, I'm Rudrani and welcome to a special Women's Day edition of Speak Easy. My guest today is brilliant and a proud feminist. Her ideals is often reflected in her works and she is absolutely fabulous. I'm talking about Aditi Rao Hydari. Hello and happy Women's Day.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Your work has often reflected your ideals of what you believe in and that's walking the talk, right? Tell me how important that is for you.
I can't imagine doing it any other way, honestly, because you know, there have been times when you know, people out of love and care advise you to do certain things, or uh, and then I do listen. I listen, but ultimately I do what I think is right, because it's very important to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and to sleep well at night for me. And all the things that you have said to me, it's not only something that I've done by design. It's really something that I have done because to me it is the most natural thing to do that, you know.
As humans, we tend to judge other people a lot more. I feel female actors, particularly, receive so much judgment um, for what they're doing, and they're being scrutinized so much. And of course, I think the perceptions that are put forward also when people don't know you are completely opposite to who you are.
Hmm.
Tell me if you face that. And, how did you sort of rise above it?
I think everybody does what they need to do. To say it very simply, you can either start listening to everything that everybody says, or you can believe very strongly in what it is that you believe in and live the life that you think you want to live, or the dreams that you have. And I think it's so important to choose, you know, because your choices make you who you are, and for you to choose with the right intention. And when I say right intention, I don't say that with judgment. When I say right intention, I mean the right intention for you, you know. And I think these are very important things. People, and
Absolutely.
I've realized, you know, people love to bring people down. I'm not sure why that is. I don't understand why they revel in like somebody's misery so much, but people do enjoy that a lot. And people don't give people too many opportunities, honestly. It takes that one thing, and suddenly everybody's jumping down your throat for something or the other. I have to say, maybe because I have a lovely kind of brain that only retains good things and throws out all the rubbish. I can't actually remember something terrible that I've dealt with. Maybe I've dealt with one thing that was not at all nice. But you know what I told myself at that point, because I think it's very important, like it was very important for me to tell myself that. I told myself that if people love me, they know the truth. I know myself. I know the truth. I don't have to tell anybody anything else, because anyway, everybody talks and makes up shit and says whatever they want to say, and they believe what they want to believe. But people who know me, and I don't need to say anything more than that to them or to myself. And if anybody has to ask me anything, all they have to do is pick up the phone and do that. And that's what I do in my life. If I feel that something is weird or something is wrong, or if I have a problem with somebody, I don't like go and talk to somebody else about it. However difficult it may be, I pick up the phone and I talk to them straight up about whatever it is. And I expect people to do that with me too. So this is how I deal with it. And I also feel like this is something that my mother has always told me, because I've always been a very sensitive child and I continue to be very sensitive. Uh, so my mother always said that, you can only be the best, your best self. And I think for me, it's very important to be a trusting, happy person and do my best for everybody. If I'm angry with them, I'll tell them. If I'm happy with them, I'll tell them. But it's very important for me to trust people. And if they let me down or if they behave badly with me, that's their problem. It's a sickness in their head. And I can't cure it. But honestly, I like there have been so many people, so many
Yeah.
actors who I have seen dealing with a lot of rubbish.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of them have done it with a lot of dignity, you know.
Sure.
And I'm sure they have gone through a similar thing that I'm saying, and I know that like I have been lucky. I really haven't dealt with this kind of negativity too much, and I hope I never have to. But the people who have, I sometimes I really doff my hat to how they deal with it, and I think they deal with it very well. But I hope, like, apart from the publicly dealing with it well, I hope they are also able to deal with it personally. That's very important.
You mentioned your mother, and I was going to ask you about this. Can you tell me the women who have impacted you most in your life? Some from, I'm sure, personal life, and some from the industry, who have contributed knowingly, unknowingly, and shaped you some way.
I think a mother figure is always somebody who's very, very important, because they you learn by example,
Mm.
by watching them, by you just imbibe from them. So for me, my mother is very, very important in my life. Very strong from within, very gentle on the exterior, very
A lot like
artistic.
you.
I'm a rowdy compared to her.
Really?
So you can imagine how gentle she is. Um, and also just, this there are certain things that only a mother can teach you, and you can't even put it in words. It's something you just imbibe. Uh, so I think my grandmother, very, very important. My entire 5-year-old personality is from my grandmother. And the fact that I am very determined and I will figure a way, like a solution to anything that's put in front of me, that's my grandmother. And my dance teacher, my guru, her, all very strong women, all very amazing, like beautiful women inside out, very inspiring women. Yeah. And I think any nurturing mother figure in my professional life as well.
Yeah. Anybody particularly from the industry who you think have also inspired you?
The person who really actually has been incredible with me, and who somehow is kind of like who'll find me at a time when I might be going through something rough in my head, or I might be dealing with something, and she will just suddenly call me and have a long chat, is Rekha ji.
How sweet.
And she's really been very, very, very amazing and always connected in at all times. So yeah,
So sweet. She's so dignified.
she's
Truly a
incredible.
champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whether it was a lockdown or even now, she would call me and tell me something that I think about, and it really does make a difference to whatever it is that I'm going through. So she's very perceptive and very wise, and Very beautiful inside out.
Your character in Hey Sinamika has got so much love. I particularly thought that it was so beautiful to see you deal with the complexities of relationships and to have a conversation about a woman who's unhappy in one and the fact that she can choose to go ahead and deal with happiness.
Usually we tell stories from the point of view of a boy. So
Mm.
he's immature, he is irresponsible, he has dreams, he doesn't have patience. And then, we give him this time to evolve and come around, and then, whatever.
Yeah, like
Here, the
wait
girl
for
is,
him.
yeah, we wait for him to evolve, and we continue to love him through that process. Here a girl has been given that place,
Yeah,
that space to be a brat, to be mischievous, to take things lightly, to be irresponsible, to be lazy, to to be immature,
yeah,
and she evolves.
yeah.
Um, and I can't take the girl, Mauna is her name. I can't take Mauna away from Yaran because they're so intertwined
Sure.
in the film. And here is a guy who actually is living the life he dreams of. We all have these problems,
Mm.
but and I think it's so important to respect each other's space, but at the same time to also nurture each other, to let each other dream, but also be a part of each other's dreams. But it's all about choice.
But I still want to know, do you feel satisfied with what you've been able to do? I remember when I asked you this question before, the answer was I'm still trying to. But I think what you've managed to do today is huge because you're successful in multiple languages and multiple industries and balancing that and then continue to doing roles like this. I feel that it's no easy task.
I'm excited. I look forward to all the challenges that are thrown at me. Um, I look forward to all the incredible people that I'm working with. I look forward to all the people who write for me, who wait for me. I think when I've spoken to you in the past, maybe before 2016, I used to hear so much that, oh, her potential is not tapped, she's underrated. I used to hear that a
Yeah.
lot. And I was still like enjoying my work, etc., etc. But I saw the point in what was being said, and I kind of hope that hopefully I will get more opportunities, and I will be able to do a varied kind of work, and I will be able to work with the people I dream of working with. And then I think slowly, after I did Katri Day with Mani Sir, a lot of things started opening up for me, and then I started working in all these Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, and then I disappeared from. I wasn't here in Bombay for quite a while because I was only shooting back to back in these languages, and then people here said, come back, we miss you. And then I have recently come back and started doing some stuff in Hindi, and I think it all happens in a way that it is meant to happen. But it, for me, I have always believed, and I've always looked forward to whatever it is that I'm doing, because I believe that one day it will get more exciting. I will be more challenged. I will do the kind of work that I want to do. I've believed it, and I'm doing it. Am I satisfied? It's very difficult to answer that question, because as a greedy actor and as an actor who wants to do many things, and be a part of incredible cinema and stories, you always look forward to more.
Sure.
So you're never really
Just a
satisfied.
little bit.
But I'm happy and I'm really enjoying myself, and I really look forward to everything that I'm meant to do. And yeah, and I'm very grateful for it. Yeah.
Like we're discussing so many interesting roles, characters, also the inclusion of more women in the film industry at all levels, whether it's production or writing and everything else. So a lot of this discussion that we were having is happening slowly. But what do you think are things that are still not being really corrected or being overlooked to truly have more interesting characters being written for women in the film industry?
No, yeah, changes are happening. It's not like they're not happening. But I think there are certain things that are like, see, the fact that there are many women directors or DOPs or stories being written about women, I think great. I'm very happy. But I want a day when we don't define these roles by gender. Why do we say female director? The profession is director. That person is a
Yeah.
director. Now, they happen to be a man or a woman, and so their lens in terms of how they tell the story. But again, I think that lens is also not gender defined. That lens is defined by their own expansiveness, their own evolution, their own their own way of telling stories, their own artistry. It's not defined by gender. And so too with roles. We tell stories about people. Why we don't say hero oriented film? Why do we say heroine oriented film? So I those things, I hope, slowly go, and they'll only go when it becomes more democratic in many ways,
Yeah.
and when it
I
becomes, there's a kind of things become more equal, and I think it kind of opens up. But I think it's happening. People are talking about these things, and people are making these points, and hopefully slowly it'll happen. But it has to enter everybody's subconscious, and it has to become natural to everybody. It'll happen slowly.
Um, but what is truly Women's Day for you? If you have to tell all the women who are watching something that you truly believe in, what would you suggest?
I think Women's Day is not a day. It's about living every moment with agency, living your dreams, making informed choices, and living out your decisions and choices with courage. And every day is an important day for every woman and for every person out there.
I'm just looking forward
Thank
to so
you.
much
Thank you.
more.
Big hug.
Big hug, lots of love. I hope you have a good day ahead, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.